All right, folks, I had some technical difficulties. I think I straightened it out. It's been a couple of weeks. I'll get this show back on the road. So here we go. We were working with You Don't Have to Go, key of B flat. At 4:25, Jimmy goes into a solo. All right, so let's break that down. What he's doing here is he's on the he's all the way up here on the minor third, right? Because you got the the 12th fret, as we all know, is the exact same as the open string, right? So this is the B string. We're on the second string, the B string. Well, we're on this. That's the minor third on the 14th fret, and he bends it up to the 15th fret. Okay. Then he comes back. Okay, so it's a shift. You shift there. Then you go 11, which is the root, flat 7, to the root again. Then flat 7 to the 5th, because we go to the 5 chord right there. It's the turn, and then you start. And he starts in with this riff, this Chuck Berry type idea. It's the double stops we've been seeing. You got the 5th and the flat 7. You could slide into it and then hit it again. Then you go down and you grab, still on the G and B string, you grab the 4th and 6th. So you go. We're working on the G and B string only right here. Right? Now, your finger's flat. Now all you do is you roll it up a little and you grab the D string. That's the root on the D string. See this? And you got the pick coming up to get that. The other ones are downstrokes. Chuck Berry. You're getting that rock and roll. Like we talked about it before. You need downstrokes. Now you pick the root, like I said, you come back to get it on the D string with an up, and then you're ready to play the double stop with the minor third and 5th downstroke. See that? All right, and then you finish it with a root pull off to the flat 7. And that's an upstroke, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's the first phrase. Now, can you guess what the second one is? It's basically, and you don't do that. You don't do those two little notes at the end, root and flat 7, pull off. You don't do it. So one you do, and then one you don't. So it's like this. Again. Now you do. See that? So it's you're doing one pattern with the pull off, one pattern without it, and then you repeat it again. And that's during the 1 chord. Okay, so you go. Right, now he plays, this is over the 4 chord, right? Right here you're playing minor third and fifth, two of those, then root and flat seven, and you slide that one. You do that twice, right? So far what you have. Now you come back to the first one, right? And now you do single note, which is fifth, slide into the fourth to the fifth, two of those, we'll slide, and then hit it, then fourth, and then minor third. So, all of it up to there, I'm going to play. Now check something out. I want you to notice something. Look. Whoop. All right. What I wanted you to notice was on this, right? Now you go. You don't have to, but you could bend it a little, right? The second one, just to be a little different. Look, that one I didn't bend it because you're doing that pull off after. See that? Especially, see, that's the end of the one on the one chord, right? You're bending a little. I mean, we're talking a fraction. You know, we're talking a quarter. When you're playing on the one chord, you're ending it, and those are the same two notes that you're gonna start for the four chord. So it's kind of nice when you're bending it, so it's a little different than when you're starting the four chord. You're playing it straight up. No bending it there. And matter of fact, if you take like when you play in the blues, right? This note, minor third, you can play major third, right? Right? You can play that because it's a major third is in the chord, and somehow the minor third, it works. We've been doing it the whole time, right? With these Jimmy Dawkins licks. But now when you get to the four chord, that minor third, right, in the key of B flat that we're in, we go to the four chord, we got an E flat 7. So that note that is on the one chord, we've been saying minor third, that becomes the flat 7 of the four chord. Right? Here's on the one. But now on the four chord, it becomes the flat 7. So we don't want to flirt with the major third here while we're on the four chord, because if we play this note, it's the major 7th of the four chord, and then you get some clash because the whole band's playing the flat 7, right? And you're hitting this guy, and you try it. I mean, try to get a backing track or something. Record your 7th chord, flat 7 there. You know what's funny in the blues and in jazz too? When you just refer to a chord as a 7th chord, it's considered the flat 7. When you just see A7 or you see B flat 7, that's a 7 chord, a flat 7. When they write MAG, right? MAJ, right? Major. MAG would be magic, but we're doing a major 7th chord. Then you would have this. right? Jazz guys usually play something. I think they'll, let's say a B flat, right? Major 7 would be this. Okay. We're talking about the 4 chord. So let's do it in E. A major 7 chord is something like this. It's pretty. Okay? That's the major 7. Okay? Now you got the flat 7 would be this. A little bluesier, right? Listen. We're more familiar with that sound than this prettier one, which is the major 7. Right? Beautiful sound. Point is, it's like saying if the band is playing this, right? What we're used to, the flat 7, and we're playing this, it's gonna be, people are gonna be confused, right? It's gonna be like, what just happened? Something doesn't sound right. It's just, and why, I don't know. Why does, when you're playing a major, when you're playing the 1 chord, why does a major 3rd, it's in the chord, but you could get away with playing a minor 3rd. But when you're playing a major, when you're playing a flat 7, right? When we're playing the flat 7, why can't we play a major 7? I don't know. I don't know why. It just doesn't work. It doesn't sound right. You got to go with what sounds right. Now, there is one thing I want to touch on, which is very strange, too, because I thought of it, was sometimes the guys will play, let's establish the sound of the flat 7, the 1 chord, right? B flat, and you're like, they're playing root, major 7, root, major 7, right there. I hear Leslie West do it. He was great at that, and Clapton, but man, Leslie West, he would really make it sing. Now, you're playing it against a flat 7, so I'm actually contradicting what I just said. You could get away with it. It's like, it's the way, I don't know, the way that lick is. I think that phrase, what he's really doing, guys are flirting with it and really they're not really emphasizing the major 7th. They're almost, it's like they're playing the root. We're used to flat 7 bending up to the root. Little vibrato, right? But if we come down, wait. But what they're almost like just playing. This is where the emphasis is on the root, and you're flirting and then coming back and coming back and coming back. So you're never really nailing this, because then it would sound cheesy. It would sound sour. So there's a way of doing. It's you can't really make concrete rules. But what I'm trying to say, if you play the 4 chord and you emphasize this, you land on it. You just like. Right? You just try to really give it all. You end on that, on this chord, the 4 chord, it's going to be like, oh, what just happened? Okay, opposed to, okay, try it. Don't believe me, try it. Play with your band, go to a show and try it out, and you see what ends up happening. So take my word for it. But there's ways to doing stuff. That's kind of like you could get away with this. It's the same idea. Like a chromatic. Oh, there you go. I hit it. I hit that note, but you didn't hang on it. You know, you didn't emphasize it. It was like a passing tone. Chromatic. You could play it, you know, and as long as you stop and you emphasize, you know, the note that's right in the chord, it'll sound cool. This again, I'm emphasizing the root right there. I'm not saying on the major 7. You see what I'm saying? So there's ways of doing it. It's the magic of this whole thing, right? But I know it's a little long now, but that's pretty cool. And basically, you know, you keep that in mind when you're playing these blues ideas, these licks, these double stops. Here you go. You got it again, right? See, I'm not bending those. I'm not really toying with that. And then you go back. Right? So to pick it up from there, now we slide to the flat 7. Up to the root. Okay? Sorry, a little slip here. Then you go root, flat 7. Wait, here we go. That's the minor 3rd. Root, flat 7. 2 roots, flat 7, root. And you slide. I think I had it backwards. It's flat 7 root, flat 7 root, root, and slide. And there you go. And that's really the whole thing. And I know I was yapping away about flat 7, major 7, and all that. I never really talked about that, so it's a little extra theory in there on this one. But you know, this is pretty simple 12 bar solo because it follows the pattern. You know, you got once you get this riff. Easy to remember, you know. And also on that, the way to get the sound is just to play it with your first finger. Like you could go, right? But it's not the same. It's like he's really, you know, you get the feeling like he's really, he's like reaching for it. You know, he's reaching for something. He's stretching, he's pushing it. He's really, he's going out on a limb here. You know, like there's sometimes a way a guy will play something, slides one finger, sliding up like that. It gives the impression like you wanna almost feel like like you're really pushing the boundaries. You know, you're really reaching for it. The audience will feel like, man, yeah, he's really going for it. You know, if you were a technical master, sometimes the guys play stuff so efficiently. There's like no flaw, no risk of stumbling. You know, you ever hear like sometimes these jazz guys too, man, they're really pushing the envelope, and you could feel like at any second this guy might fall off his seat, like he might just, oh man, and then he does pull it off, and it's like, damn. But when it's so proficient, you almost like don't get that feeling because he's nailing everything, and there's like less excitement because this dude is just like he's nailing everything, and you have no anxiety that damn like he's not giving you his full potential. He's doing it easy, even if he can do twice as much as the next guy. He's not pushing himself. You want to feel like you're giving it all and more, 110%. Holy cow, he pulled it off. I can't believe it. And a lot of music today, it's so stale. It's so stale because everything's so rehearsed. Everything is so over. I don't even know how the production value of it all. It's just like there's no risk taking. Back in the 70s, these blues rock bands like Zeppelin and The Who, Jethro Tull, all these guys, man, they threw that improvising in there and they pushed the envelope. Some nights they did crash and burn, but other nights they were like magical. And this is they're coming from the blues. The blues guys every night they play the same song, but it would be, who knows, like it could develop into different things. It could be 12 minutes long, and then the next day it could be 8 minutes long. This is another thing. It's how they're feeling at the moment, how they're feeling that night, you know. Anyway, you could see I got a lot to say because my damn thing broke, and now I'm trying to like put in a lot of this stuff. So I'm glad to be back doing it. So I'm gonna try to get back on track and get these things, make some short ones. I'm gonna just give you like bullets, boom, boom, boom. Here it is. Here it is. Here's a couple of notes. Here's how it is. Boom. Next one. Let's go. So don't worry. I'll keep them shorter from now on. All right. So with that said, I'm glad to be back. All right. Thanks again for watching.